Uh,
Our first speaker is Ms. Jaleh, and the title of your speech is Tolstoy.
yes. By the way, whenever you have a speech, you can record it. So that's why I am going out. You heard about recording stuff. We need to make sure. Since I was a child, I kept hearing Tolstoy, Tolstoy. Even in my home country, they don't. That's why it made me to know who was he? Fellow Toastmaster, and most welcome guests. Today, I like to explore a little bit about Tolstoy and his venture. So who was he? He was born in 1828 in Russia, in an aristocratic and noble family. He had access to the rich literature. It's a noble family. He lost his parents when he was a teenager, and he grew up with his relatives. He started his university, but he wasn't interested in academic matters. But he was in touch. Big writers of the time. That's why Tolstoy became who is he. Well-known writers admire his book, War and Peace, and they consider it as a masterpiece of world literature. His another book called The Kingdom of God is Within You inspired well-known people like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Okay, Jaleh, you talked about Tolstoy, who has had lasting impact worldwide. But tell us what made him to be there. Reading his story shows us that his mother had big influence on him. He instilled in him the love of storytelling. And since his childhood, he started developing this skill of writing. He started with autobiography. Being born in a wealthy family, he had access to a rich amount of books and literature. The combination of his opportunities and his own quest about nature of human being, purpose of life, and all aspects of moral and philosophical subject made him to be who he was. I said he was interested in philosophical subject and moral subject. That's why it led him to investigate about all religions and all moral philosophies. He had his own, he has his own religious journey. And it was a venture for him. He was very interested in Christianity and deepen. And the social norm didn't follow that. That's why it bothered him. Raleigh, you said he had his own spiritual journey and he was interested in religion. Did he come across with Baha'i faith? Yes, he came. He studied Baha'i faith. He came across to know some people from Baha'i faith, and he was very interested. Actually, the Baha'i teaching resonated with him a lot. The moral and ethical aspect of it, the oneness of humanity, the oneness of religion, the oneness of races, all of this was very interesting for him. And there is a quotation of him that I like to show you. In fact, when he was alive was the time that the founder of Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah, was alive too. He was a prisoner, Baha'u'llah was a prisoner, and that's what he's saying. We spend our lives trying to unlock the mystery of the universe. But there was a Turkish prisoner, Baha'u'llah, in Accra, Palestine, who had the key. I should say that he was not only moralistic, reflective, but he was rebellious too. He was very against the social norms of society, the aristocratic community, the Orthodox Church, all of them bothered him, and he fought against them. In his literature, it's very obvious, and he believed in the power of literature to change those norms. His belief in moral and ethical aspect also was very strong, and it was reflected in his writings. That's why I like to end this speech with his own quotation. He says, everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Truth, like gold, is to be obtained not by its growth, but by washing away from it all that is not gold. Thank you.
And I hope we could have a minute for some love notes to Ms. Jaleh.